Objective is simple. It is a free support to all Business Central users worldwide, irrespective of in what stage of purchase they are, whether they've procured recently, whether they've been using for a couple of years. We understand there are challenges that people face, users face for adoption, and we are there to help. There's no commercial angle to this. This is every Wednesday, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Our team will be online, responding to all the queries that we may have. And we are more than happy to help wherever possible. So that's the whole idea. Basically, like it mentioned on this screen, it is our objective is optimal utilization. That's the simple and the most prime objective that we are looking at. That if you're invested in Business Central, we will ensure that you utilize it optimally. Gaurav, you want to take this?
Yeah, sir. Hi, very warm welcome to everyone. Myself, Gaurav Singh Rajput. I have been working from last 6 years. I've been working from last 6 years as a functional consultant. And today's topic, actually, in previous week, we have already covered one topic called as duplicate of vendors, how to merge the duplicate vendors. So we have done the end user training into it. We have also given the precautions can be taken. And we have also shown what are the features, benefits to the valuable business. Just navigating to the another slide. Sir, you have to give me the. Hello. Just a second. I think there is some issue with the key, laptop key. Just give me a minute.
Gaurav, you're on mute.
Sorry. So our today's topic is item variants in how to use the item variants in Dynamic 365 Business Central. As we all know that the feature was available from the past now 2013 R2 as well as 2016. But today we will see what are the new advanced things Microsoft has given in Business Central, which was not there earlier. So let's see what are the challenges, what are the benefits to it, and then I will also present a demo where you can see how we can pass the transaction in purchase sales, how to check the inventory, as well as what are the new advanced features which will help us to control the complexity of the multiple item creations, which will indirectly create and benefit to the business. So secondly, the challenges faced by the customer is basically, suppose if you are into a trading business or if you are into a manufacturing business, where for example, if we take an example of a t-shirt, and we are a t-shirt or shirt manufacturing company where the dimensions like the size, colors, or this kind of a features we want to maintain inventory, we want to maintain a inventory management to it. So it becomes very complex for those kind of in business. So generally, Business Central has provided the solution how to manage with different variant codes. Like T-shirt is a main item code called as a parent, whereas the size, color, this can be a child item code, and become very easy to maintain those. So while doing any implementation, whether it's a trading company, whether it's a manufacturing company, company where the variants take into picture, we have to particularly use this kind of a feature. We have to maintain the product management very properly. And the second issue is the challenge is because if we maintain the multiple inventory codes, if we don't use the variant, then what happens when we do the stock takings, it create the issues while doing the stock takings. Then it also creates the issues while like how to maintain the inventory, how to maintain the planning and all. So it is very necessary that the inventory complexity we need to be have very efficiently. We have to do it very efficiently so that we should be able to create a proper variant code. And inconsistency pricing, basically earlier the variance was not involved into whereas the pricing was not considered earlier. But in now case in Business Central, we can define the purchase price, sales price, including the variants, which become very easy and convenient for the users who actually do the purchase related transactions or sales related transactions. So from masters, it will automatically flow to the transactional level. These are the important features actually. If we maintain the variant management properly, like as I said, colors wise and all, so it will properly manage the inventory codification. It will proper reduce the duplication of the codification and all. Inventory setup in Business Central has given a feature to enable where it will mandate to an item who is having a variance, so that if any person is selecting a variant code, if any person missed to select the variant code at sales level or at purchase level, it will prompt an error. The same thing was missing earlier in earlier versions like 2016. Microsoft has given the features on inventory setup as well as on individual item card as well, which we'll see in demonstration in practically in Business Central in next 5 to 10 minutes. We will also see how to pass the purchase related transactions with variant, which will show by selecting multiple variants. We will also see the transaction related to item sales wise variant where it will and those after passing those transactions, basically those entries goes whether it is a purchase related entry or whether it's a sales related entry is go to the item ledger entry. So there we can go and track the visibility of it item wise variant wise stock. We can easily see it will be beneficial at the time of taking the stock take. So basically, what are the benefits of doing it? So if we properly maintain or streamline the efficiently manage the parent product, it will reduce the complexity in day-to-day operations. And secondly, critically, accurate inventory management will happen, which will also help us to the company to not to do overstocking related parts, which will indirectly create a financial impact on the company. And if we properly maintain the variants with a proper variant code of a child relation of a parent and a child, it will also help to improve the error reduction. It will also help us to make a proper decision while doing planning, while doing purchasing, while doing stock management and all. And it also indirectly improves the customer satisfaction because if a business like manufacturing or trading who is totally depend upon a products like inventory, so for them the main part in balance sheet becomes the inventory costing and inventory valuations. So indirectly, if the things are properly maintained, it will give a customer satisfaction. And if we are properly maintaining the inventory as well as the variant related part, indirectly it will also impact my financial management, which will help us to control like how many quantity we should purchase, what are the levels we should keep, and it will also help us for the cash flow related part. Now, this particular feature is helpful on many verticals. So we have just listed out some of the verticals like in retail industry, it can be beneficial. In manufacturing industry, it can be beneficial. It can be beneficial in food, e-commerce, healthcare, wholesale, construction, electronics, automotive, jewelry, and luxury goods. So we need to think when we do the implementation, the consultant needs to think this properly. He need to understand the business, and accordingly, I think the variant is a very beautiful feature with the advance of validations which Microsoft have provided in Business Central. So we need to take care of this properly. Now let's see the demonstration. In demonstration, what we are going to present is basically the inventory setup. Like the creation of variant is one part in item master, but how we will set up it, like, because even though if we create an item code and if we don't provide the validations, then what will happen, either time of purchase or either at the time of sales, the stock will either up or down from the main parent code, because this validations was not worked earlier. So that's the reason they have given the options on inventory setup as well as on item card. We will also see how to pass the transaction with variants in purchase as well as sales. And then we'll see the tracking of item ledger entry for purchase sales in item ledger entry. We will also see how we can manage how manage to check the inventory item variant stock wise, which will help us to show that this is the parent level stock, this is the child level stock of variant. Now let's,
Gaurav,
uh, yeah,
if you don't mind, so can we first take some questions? I mean, this is a helpline for specific queries, right? And if we
sure.
don't have them, we can continue.
Yeah, we can take the
Everyone is
question.
unmute, right?
Yeah, yeah. Revati ma'am, just
Yeah,
confirm.
sir, after the demo, we'll be starting that
No,
session, sir.
let's start this session. No, otherwise it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay,
Let's see if they have any any observation, and then if they want, we can continue.
sure, sir. So in the forum, anyone is having any question, request you to please
Can you
raise
just
your question.
unmute everyone? Yeah.
Yeah, Revati, you need to unmute him.
Yeah, if any one of you have any queries related to Business Central, you can raise it out here. We'll try to answer that. Or if we can't solve it, we can mail it to us as well. We'll get back to you. You can just unmute yourself and speak. Mishmita?
Hello everyone.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So right now, no query from my end.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you got the concept of what we are trying to do, right? The idea is not training. The idea is if you are facing any challenges in your existing implementation, you can raise that point. And if it is something which we can answer promptly, we'll do that. And uh, if you require some understanding, then we'll ask for those queries. That is the whole point, right?
Sure, sure.
Okay, and if you can, Gaurav will go on to explain one of the features of Business Central, that is a variant. Let's see if it is helpful to you. Go on, Gaurav. Thanks. Thanks, Nashmi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So basically, we'll see how the purchase related transactions will pass into Business Central with variants as well as sales related transaction. Then we'll see in item ledger entry how to track that particular purchase or sales entry with the variant and the remaining quantity, which is a stock of it. We will also filter by item by availability where we can see the variant wise stock. Now let's go to the demonstration in Business Central. Let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yeah, Gaurav, we
Okay.
can see.
Yeah. So basically, the big difference what is between the NAV 2016 as well as the Business Central is earlier whenever we create a variant, we was able to create a variant, but most of the cases what happened, people do create the variants, but they miss to update any validation. So the partners was doing validations by their own, maybe by in customization and all. But when we see the feature in Business Central, there are two options they have given into Business Central, which is one is on the master level. I will show you that, and one is on the setup level. So here we can see the item variant mandatory option. So how it helps us, we will see when we will pass the purchase and sales related transactions. So for now, I have enabled this particular feature. So there are two options. Either you do it on setup level, either you do it on the card level. So if you enable this, and if one parent is having multiple variants to it, and you will pass any kind of a transaction, whether it is purchase, sales, production, item journal, or any kind of a transaction, system will validate it. So this will reduce this will help you not to the child stock. So this is, I think, a very nice feature. Now I will just explain you on card level as well. So for example, we have taken one item code as a t-shirt. So assume that this is a manufacturing company or a trading company who is purchasing or dealing in a t-shirts. So they have created t-shirt as an item code, but whereas there are multiple variants to it. So multiple variants has been created. So basically what happens, like the color, the size can be a different variants. And with variant wise, we can also maintain the stock. So for this particular item, we have maintained the multiple variant as blue, orange, red, and white. This is nothing but the colors we have created as a code, and it has a relation with the parent. Now the same option they have provided on the item card level as well. Okay. So suppose there are 4 to 5 items. In some cases, you want to keep it mandatory on item card level. So you can also go here and keep on the item card level. But if you are having such kind of an item, so it is always preferable as per the structure that you do on the setup level, because anybody who is enabling this feature, they wants to see on the setup level so that they will not miss it. Second part is how to pass that particular transaction from purchase as well as sales. So first of all, I will proceed with the purchase. Now assume that I am created one particular transactions. So because of the timing, I have already taken that particular purchase order. So I have selected the vendor, which will also give the information of the vendor. Then I have directly selected the line. So basically here, I am selecting the variant code. Now assume that I am not taking this variant code. Okay. And when I go and do the preview posting of it, system will prompt an error. Why? Because I have done the setup into inventory setup. So it will prompt me an error that at least select any one value so that you will be able to post the transaction. Now this particular things was missing earlier. Now this has been given into multiple screens. So suppose I am selecting it as a blue and on the second line, I'm selecting as an orange. I have also mentioned the quantity and I will update the price of it, for example. Now let's post it. Before that, I just did a preview posting in order to check if there is any error to it. So as there is no error to it, I will just post simply. Now this is how we post the purchase related transaction. If you want to see the invoice, you can. If not, I will keep on no. Same way you can do the transactions from sales. So I will navigate to the sales order. Due to the time constraint, I have already created that order. My customer is Canon Group. On the line level, I have selected the item code as t-shirt and my variant is blue color. So I'm saying that my quantity is 5. I want to sell 5 particular quantities. Here also the same validation has been applied. Suppose if I miss to select this particular thing and if I do the preview posting, then it will give an error. So earlier what was happening that because there was no validation, it will down your inventory from the parent item code, which is actually not correct. Okay, so now the validation has been given. I will simply do the preview posting and then we can post this particular transactions. Now, after posting the transactions, the most important thing is to check the item ledger entry where the particular purchase or sales related transactions has been flown. So when I go to the item ledger entry and I simply do the sort of it, you can see that here we can see the purchase receipt with the two items of variant code as orange and blue. And they have also currently we have not consumed it anything. So here it is showing the quantity as well as the remaining quantity available in stock. And here we can see the quantity is not available in stock because in the earlier transaction as per FIFO that has become 0. Okay. Now, when I go to the, now I want to see suppose the stock on the basis of item by location. So what I simply do is I will click on this particular item or you can either navigate from item master. I will click on this. I will go to items. I will go to item by availability and I will go on a variant. So as there is no gross requirements to it, so it will like I have not any open transaction of sales and anything, so it will not show that. But when I want to see the blue or orange or red or white, anything related to a stock of it, so here you can see the projected available balance is 10, orange color balance is 10. So here in this way we can see the balances, and this is how the we can maintain it. So irrespective of whatever the screen is, whether it is item journal, purchase, sales, or production, or anything, even the planning as well. So the variant mandatory features has become very useful for all, so that the proper inventory will be maintained. That's it, the end of the session, and I will open the forum once again if anybody is having any questions to ask. I'm stopping my screen.
Hey, Gaurav.
Yeah, Sushmita. Yeah, hi,
Yeah.
hi, Nishmita.
So my query is not pertaining to inventory.
Okay,
Actually, I had one query regarding vendor master in
okay.
Navision. So when we open the vendor cards, the vendor list, we
Mm,
cannot see GST number on front of the card, like on the list.
okay.
So, like during the audit of our clients, we actually face this as a major issue because our auditor needs vendor master with full details,
Right.
but we
Okay.
don't have customization on like customization also.
Okay.
So,
So, can you see my screen?
yeah,
Okay. So basically, this registration number you are talking about.
yes, yes.
So see, there are two things. If you are not standardly able to see the GST registration number on your tax
Hmm.
information page,
Hmm.
so it might be because in some cases what we have observed that there are some of the fields which Microsoft have not directly provided on the page. That can be a case. So what you can do is there will be two options. One will be personalized, one will be design. Okay. So
Okay.
designer is nothing but a same option of
So,
what we say.
just to interrupt you, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, Gaurav. We don't use micro business central. Uh,
Nav as well. So in Nav as well,
yeah.
there is an option for design. Okay. If you see the
Okay.
Nav development environment, at the
Hmm.
bottom, there is a design option. So what you have to do is you have to take the vendor page. Now, suppose if I see the vendor page,
Hmm.
I'm just taking the vendor page number. So suppose my page number of vendor is 26. Okay. So if
Hmm.
you go to Nav development environment on a design option and page number 26, you have to add that field actually, and then bring it on the front end level. I think that will.
Uh, Gaurav, is it possible for you to show me Nav live right now?
I don't have Nav with me right now, but if you can share the screen or if you can mail us the query, we can like get in touch with you.
Uh, yeah. I can email you, I mean, the query.
Yeah. So that will be
Uh,
better. We will get in touch with you.
yeah, yeah. I'll email on your email ID, right? Can you just share me the email ID?
Sure, we'll do that.
Yeah.
You're using the
Devi
India
ma'am, can you
version,
just?
right?
Sorry, sir.
You're using India version, I assume.
Yes, yes, right, sir.
And in your India version, you cannot see the GST registration number in NAV 2016.
Yeah, I mean, we can see in the vendor card, respective vendor cards, but when we open the vendor list, total vendor list, we cannot see the GST number.
Oh, only in the vendor list, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Lit?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay,
what
okay.
you do, there could be two possibility. One is if you right click on it and add column, then you see whether registration card is coming. If it is not coming, then we need to modify the vendor list. Modification is add a field from the back from the developer tool, and then you can see. Have you tried
Okay.
doing a right click and choose
Yes,
column?
yes. I've tried clicking choose columns and seeing the
Then it
option,
is
but there
not
is no
coming.
option available. No,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Then so then we need then someone if using development tool has to add. I don't think you have access to that. If you can have
Yeah.
access to that, you can do it. Or if someone has access in your office, who does? Who looks after your system there now? Akbar.
Right now, Vishal Gupta looks after the system. So,
So ask Vishal if he can do it or he can get back, he can connect with
okay.
us.
So, sir, do you mean the admin has the right to add this number? I mean GST
Yeah, yeah.
fee?
If it is not coming through choose column, then only admin can do it or the person who looks after the system. You won't be able
Okay,
to.
sir.
I don't think they have given access to you because if they give
Okay.
access to you, you can do anything. I mean, I'm not you. I'm not saying you
Okay.
specifically. Generally, they will not
Yeah.
give access to all the users, right? So this was some.
Yeah.
This was never there in the standard. In the sense, in standard in the list, you will not get GST number, right? But
Okay.
there are clients who wants that in the list. Then someone has to do a tweaking of half an hour to do.
Okay, sir. So, I'll check internally with the
Or
admin.
Vishal can do it. Yeah. Vishal
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do it. Nothing wrong.
If at all there is no resolution, how can we reach, I mean, to the proper person
That
for this?
Revati will send you will send you the email ID, right? But
Okay, okay,
more
okay.
importantly, for us to do it also, someone has to be there at the other end because we cannot go to your system directly. We can
Right,
send
right.
you the screenshot, we can send you the screenshot of how to go about doing it, but someone has to do it
Okay.
in your system. Now, who in Deloitte does that, has that, I don't know.
Okay, sir. I'll check internally,
Because
sir.
Vishal has
Okay.
the rights, then Vishal can do it. Akbar has the right, Akbar can do it, but I don't know. That you need to check up whether you can do it. If they don't, then they will connect with the partners, and partners are us only, so that should not be an issue.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So in chat, she has given the email ID. In case if you want to mail the query, you can do that.
Thank you, sir.
Just send the screenshot. That will be easier because Gaurav got
Yes,
confused
sir.
between the page and the list. Just send the
Yeah,
screenshot.
yeah, yeah.
Say that
I
you know
thought.
you want it,
Yeah,
you want a column here. Generally,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
it is not there at standard. Someone has to go and enable that column there.
Okay,
correct.
sir.
Okay.
I'll check internally first, and if at all no resolution is received, then I'll email
Yeah.
the Gaurav with the screenshot.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Mita, you have any other questions? Mita, if you have any questions, please unmute and let us know. Okay, if there is no questions, can we wind up the session?
Yeah, I think there is no more queries as of now. So let's call it a day. And if there is something, you can mail us or you can connect again next week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.